So speaking of healthcare, I mean, this conversation never stops,
Yeah,
right?
it never stops. I mean, it should not stop, period, because we should always be, worrying about, working out, taking all the right things to keep ourselves healthy. And speaking of that, we have two healthcare professionals joining us next who are going to tell us how can we return to work as safely as possible.
Yeah, they're getting queued up right now. But, this is an important conversation because we are starting to open here in New York City.
Yeah.
And we're actually one of the last areas to open.
Yeah. Manhattan.
Yeah. So, we have Dr. Abe Malkin and Dr. Daryl Gioffre. Are you on the line over there?
Hi, gentlemen.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yes,
Yeah, of
I can
course.
hear you okay.
How you all doing
Excellent.
today?
How's it going?
Good.
Doing well.
Anyway, so tell us, how do we return to work safely? Is that possible?
There's a couple different ways to do it. I think testing is obviously really important. As this pandemic has gone on for longer and longer, testing has improved and become a little bit more readily available. We're doing testing for businesses of all sizes on site. Some want swab testing to give them kind of an accurate diagnostic picture on, of their employees' health, and some want antibody testing to know, if their employees have had the disease in the past and have recovered from it. And then there's a third type of test coming out soon, called antigen testing, which is sort of the best of both worlds. It's rapid and diagnostic, so it can give you an accurate picture at the point of care of where they're at. So testing is one part. Obviously, protective equipment, wearing masks is super important. Some say that wearing masks can actually bring that R0 number down below 1, which is really the key here of preventing exponential growth. So those are a couple things that can help this be done safely.
Yeah, here, Doctor, the latest thing I read from CDC's website is, yes, antibody tests, they are, great in theory. However, the accuracy is low. It could go as low as 50%, because we're still pretty new to this thing. In that case, I mean, what's the point of doing it if about half of the results are going to be wrong?
Toss.
So it's really all a matter of bringing that R0 number down below 1. And it's kind of a scientific term, but when an R0 number is above 1, that means you get exponential growth. So if we can at least capture, even if we only capture 50% of positives, knowing that those alone are in that category would vastly improve our ability to contain this virus. So, I do say, I acknowledge the fact that, the tests are not perfect, but more information is extremely helpful. So even if you only catch 1 out of 2 people, catching that 1 out of 2 people prevents a lot of people from getting sick.
Great answer to your question. So, Dr. Daryl, you're a celebrity nutritionist, of course. What can we do to build our immune systems while we're at home before we start mingling again?
Well, it's interesting, guys, because they say the best time to prepare for an emergency, or a pandemic in this case, was 2 years ago. Second best time is today. But here's the problem. Most of us, when this whole thing happened, we were blindsided by this. No one anticipated it. So what happened is that we all, or most of us, went into this stressful form of eating. The quarantine happened. We were moving less. And what happened was people started eating more sugar and carbohydrates, and that's bad, because sugar drives up inflammation in the body. It drains you of your minerals that you need to perform mentally and physically, and it makes you gain weight. They were even calling it the lockdown 15, kind of back in college. So anyway, we have to really use this as an opportunity. Obviously, there's a lot of bad things about the pandemic, but again, what positives can we pull from this current situation? Again, it's not about pushing through the pandemic, it's about being pulled. So we want to start to make these things that we can add into our bodies simple. So number one, let's start to breathe more, because when we're stressed, we go into fight or flight, and exactly, we freeze like So
we didn't do that. We did that on
cue. Perfect. All right. But again, we have to be conscious about it. We have to drink more water. One of the things I always say is the solution to pollution is dilution. We got to drink more to get the toxins out and make sure our body's well hydrated. Number 3, we have to move our body. The quarantine made most of us just become stuck and stagnant.
I'm soft in the middle now, Doc.
Well, on that point, to help that belly fat, we have to start to alkalize our body with healthy, nutritious food. And again, it's just about what can you add. It's not about being perfect. So start with a salad. Those dark green leafy vegetables are high in minerals, phytonutrients, antioxidants, and they really help boost immunity. One of the things I do, I start every morning, even my little 3-year-old and 6-year-old, we get a scoop of green powder in a glass of water. I'm drinking one right now, and it's the first thing we do. And it really is powerful because within 30 seconds, you can give your body the oxygenation through your cells. And if I was to give one tip as far as a supplement you can add to boost immunity, hands down, it's black seed oil. A lot of people haven't heard about it, but it's 3 times more anti-inflammatory than turmeric and 1,000 times more active of an antioxidant than vitamin E, vitamin C, elderberry. So it's a really, really great one to add. And again, just think progress, not perfection. If you do that, you're going to be moving the needle.
So gentlemen, as we move into this era where we're trying to get back to normal, we heard your advice, Dr. Daryl. Other doc, what do we think? What do we do? How do we prepare ourselves? We know about the testing. You're saying go get tested even if it's not perfect. Wear a mask, social distancing. Any other thing that you recommend so that we can, again, attain normalcy here?
Yeah, I mean, I think Daryl hit it on the head. You know, when this first came out, we kind of were caught off guard, so to speak. But now we expect, you know, within the fall and winter season to see some kind of resurgence. So we've had a couple months already, and now we have, you know, another few months to really prepare. So, you know, I would recommend to all my patients, get your blood work done, get an inflammatory panel done, see if there are things in your diet, perhaps like food sensitivities that are causing inflammation. Work on your sleep is another really important aspect of your immune system. You know, people don't realize their gut actually is what controls a large component of your immune system. So if there's any inflammation there, you know, to Daryl's point, if you're eating sugary foods or foods that cause sensitivities, you will have low-lying inflammation, and you may just feel it like fatigue, vague symptoms, but really it could cause a myriad of problems down the road. So just to add on to what Daryl said, you know, I think sleep is really important. I think gut health is really important. I think getting screening lab work done and to uncover any underlying pathology is extremely important now before we see that resurgence potentially in a few months.
Black seed oil.
Yeah, black seed oil. I'm going to check that out also after the show. I'm going to go get kale salad for everybody.
Yeah, thank you both, docs. We really appreciate you
Dr.
both
Daryl,
being here
Dr.
today.
Abe.
Thank you, guys.
Yep.
Take care.